Eradicate all evil is a phrase many of you have heard. If you've played Zenless Zone Zero version 1.4, you know Miyabi often says this when she is about to defeat her enemies. Miyabi is a character who is arguably quite overpowered. She has a very fast movement and basic attack skills. Her special move, basic attack Shimotsuki, can do huge damage, even equivalent to other characters' ultimate versions. But a good character won't be effective if we don't understand how to play it properly, right? Hoyostation is here to tell you all about it. Today we will thoroughly discuss the full guide for Miyabi version 1.4. Let's do this! Do you have a character or weapon in the game that you really want but you don't have enough stellar jades? Here's a smarter way to recharge your favorite games like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. Look no further than Loot Bar. Loot Bar is the most reliable top-up platform. It saves up to 20% for all orders compared with the official channel, and it provides an 80% off for your first purchase. It's 100% safe as you will only be using your UID. We will buy pack for 3000 stellar jades for $42, which otherwise would have costed $50. Totally saving $7.5. We received the crystals we purchased in the less than 3 minutes. All recharges will be done through the official channel with MiHoYo, which allows you to enjoy all top-up offers. Ready to level up your gaming experience? Check the link in the description to get the amazing discount. As we know, Miyabi is an S-rank melee Frost Anomaly agent and is the first and possibly the last Frost character we can currently see in Zenless Zone Zero. In addition to bringing a new element to the game, she is also the first anomaly unit that specifically only wants critical-based builds. Yes, Miyabi is really quite a strange character who breaks all the rules. Now, how does Miyabi differ from the current crop of characters? The answer is actually simple: an absurd amount of damage, more than any other character released so far that sets a new standard for what to expect in the future. Somewhat similar to Yanagi and Jane, Miyabi continues the trend of Anomaly's character dealing massive burst damage early on, making her as effective as any DPS character currently released. To understand how to get the most out of this character, let's talk about it together. When fighting in the field, the way to play this character is quite simple. Execute her strongest attack, basic attack Shimotsuki, at the right time, with full power and as often as possible. Shimotsuki is an enhanced version of her basic attack that can be accessed by pressing and holding the button to charge. It can be charged up to 3 times based on the charge source it has, and upon reaching the maximum charge, it deals tremendous damage. As such, Miyabi's entire kit and rotation will revolve around generating a charge source for a fully charged Shimotsuki and timing it appropriately. So let's learn how to do that. Her unique charge source is a special gauge consisting of 6 orbs called Fallen Frost. Fallen Frost is how we access and charge Shimotsuki's enhanced basic attack. Therefore, collecting Fallen Frost is always the most important thing in using Miyabi effectively. Miyabi can generate Fallen Frost in the following ways: 3 orbs when entering battle for the first time, 3 orbs when unleashing her ultimate, 2 orbs when using one of her EX special attacks, 2 orbs when any team member triggers Disorder, and 1 orb when triggering Frostburn Break via Frost Anomaly. As we can see, there are many ways to gain orbs, but Miyabi must fill all 6 before she can unleash her strongest attack, which is basic attack Shimotsuki. Miyabi's basic attack is how we not only spend Fallen Frost but also charge from downtime. Her basic attack is divided into 2 different abilities. The first is a 5-part combo consisting of 2 physical attacks at the beginning and 3 forced attacks at the end. The second is fully charged version of her basic attack, which is basic attack Shimotsuki, which can only be accessed if you have at least 2 Fallen Frost orbs. Each charge of Shimotsuki requires 2 additional Fallen Frost orbs to access, with the most powerful version requiring 6 orbs. Now here I will teach you the basics of doing skip attacks from her skills. The step is quite easy to follow. First, you need to activate your EX special attack Isetsu and then do her basic attack part 3, 4 and 5. Why is this skip sequence important? This skip is important because we want to use her first basic attack specifically to build a full Frost Anomaly to get the accompanying Fallen Frost orb. In short, use her charge basic attack when we have 6 orbs and use the skip ability to access parts 3, 4 and 5 of her standard basic attack combo to build the additional anomalies we need. Speaking of anomalies, it's time to talk about Frost. Frost works like other anomalies in terms of stacking. Frost has many similarities to Ice Anomaly. Fully filling the Frost gauge will apply Freeze, Frostbite, and after Freeze ends, it will generate Shatter. The difference with Ice is that it has a higher anomaly multiplier than Ice. In the information available, The Frostbite anomaly can last for 20 seconds, whereas other anomalies only last 10 seconds. Now the duration of this Frostbite will affect the damage disorder that you will produce, because the faster you do disorder when the enemy is hit by anomaly, the greater the damage will be. Apart from that, the most important thing of all is that between Anomaly Ice and Frost are different things, so we can trigger disorder between Anomaly Ice and Frost. It's very useful when playing Miyabi with other ice agents. As an anomaly unit, Miyabi needs some way to increase her anomaly damage, and that's where her core passive can shine. Whenever Miyabi hits an enemy with Frost damage, she will deal Ice Fire to them, increasing the Frost anomaly build up against them by 100% of her critical rate to a maximum of 80%. 80% critical rate means 80% Frost anomaly build up rate. In addition, when Miyabi triggers Frost anomaly, she will spend all Ice Fire on the target to inflict Frostburn Break, dealing a large amount of damage that can be a critical hit, generating a Fallen Frost Orb and putting them in the Frostburn state. While in the Frostburn state, the target will receive 20% more anomaly build up from all of our squad members, as Miyabi cannot use Ice Fire during this time. Frostburn lasts as long as the enemy is affected by Frostbite, which can be removed by triggering disorder. So basically the bottom line is target 80% critical rate to get the maximum bonus, trigger Frost anomaly as quickly as possible to get the Fallen Frost Orbs and bonus damage from Frostburn Break, and use other characters to utilize Frostburn to trigger disorder to get more Fallen Frost Orbs. Miyabi has 2 EX special attack which are both standard Frost attacks, with the exception that they both generate 2 Fallen Frost Orbs. Both attacks cost 40 energy, with the second attack can only be used after the first attack is used. Now if you need the full 4 Fallen Frost Orbs in front, using the initial EX special attack and the follow-up EX special attack will be very effective. But if you only need 2 orbs, then you can just do the skip attack combo that I taught you earlier. Miyabi's ultimate deals massive frost damage, gives her a 30% ice damage boost for 12 seconds, and generates 3 Fallen Frost Orbs. One more thing, when we use this ultimate, we should aim to use this ultimate during the stun time, so that the damage is maximized. On the other hand, her chain attack is quite simple. It only deals huge AoE frost damage, but unfortunately no Fallen Frost Orbs are generated through this skill. Similar to her chain attack, Miyabi's dash attack, dodge counter, and assist are also very simple and standard with no special effects or bonuses, so we use them as needed like we do with other agents. Activating additional ability for Miyabi is very mandatory thing to do, and it will provide great abilities. When active, when she will use basic attack Shimotsuki, this skill will get a 60% damage boost, ignore 30% ice resistance, and whenever a team member triggers disorder, she will get 2 orbs of Fallen Frost. Okay, now it's time to bring together all the explanations I've covered from the beginning and discuss how to combine these abilities along with some optimizations we can do to increase Miyabi's damage to the next level. Let's get started. When opening the fight, as we know that Miyabi starts with 3 orbs of Fallen Frost, we can actually use this to our advantage. Running 1 EX special along with the advanced combo of 3 basic attacks can be enough to trigger a frost anomaly on many enemies, allowing the activation of a fully charged Shimotsuki to start the fight. To use Fight Opener combo is quite simple. First, you need to use her EX special attack and get 5 orbs. Then do basic attack until part 5 and trigger Frost Anomaly to get 6 orbs. And finally charge her basic attack to use Shimotsuki. But I will let you know that using these combos against enemies with a higher anomaly gauge, this won't work. So we can add extra attacks to get a similar opening effect. Then what about the standard combo that Miyabi must do? Without the help of 3 orbs at the beginning of the fight, Miyabi must rely on her energy and EX special attack, as well as her teammates to be able to trigger disorder to get Fallen Frost. Here are some examples of how that happens. In the first part, you can use her EX special attack part 1 and part 2 and get 4 orbs. And do the basic attack Kazahana for the part 3, 4, and 5 and triggers Frost Anomaly and Disorders to get 6 orbs. And finally, you can do basic attack Shimotsuki with fully charged. Or you can use the second examples. First, your allies apply Disorder to get 2 orbs and do EX special attack after that, doing the 3 part of basic attack Kazahana, and finally you can do basic attack Shimotsuki with full charged. In both examples, Miyabi can easily access a fully charged Shimotsuki, but going back and forth between using Frost Anomaly and then using it alongside other team members to trigger Disorder allows for much greater energy efficiency. There are actually many more combos that can be done with Miyabi, and the examples I just mentioned are just a few examples. And the last thing is, one other thing to note when playing this character is the quick swap trick. If you know, the animation time when using basic attack Shimotsuki is very slow, and if you swap characters after fully charging basic attack Shimotsuki, Miyabi will perform a full attack even when you switch to another character. Because of this, performing a quick swap after fully charging her basic attack can save a lot of time and increase her DPS massively, and this is recommended for those who want to maximize Miyabi's performance. Talking about Miyabi's full kit would be lacking if we don't discuss the complete build she has, right? For the W engine section that I highly recommend, of course, is her W engine named Hailstorm Shrine. This W engine offers incredible critical rate and critical damage unconditionally with an added bonus of up to 40% additional ice damage when teammates are able to apply the anomaly attribute consistently. The best slot choice for Miyabi by far, as no other anomaly W engine has such effective critical stats. As for alternative W engine that you can use is Grace's W engine named Fusion Compiler. This W engine can grant 24% penetration ratio and 12% combat attack unconditionally, on top of an easily accessible combat bonus that grants tons of anomaly proficiency. To be more specific, this W engine will grant the wearer a stackable buff, up to 3 times, 25 anomaly proficiency per stack, which lasts for 8 seconds, with the duration of each stack counted separately. Users of this W engine can easily gain stacks whenever they use special attack or EX special attack. This engine is such a good universal choice that it is the main option on many anomaly characters. The third choice goes to Electrolyte Plus. That is the W engine that can be obtained through the Battle Pass. Well, this W engine is indeed quite an expensive W engine to obtain and be quite powerful or quite weak depending on the battle situation, team, and gameplay used with it. This W engine can grant 75 unconditional anomaly proficiency and a double battle effect that takes effect as soon as enemy is hit by anomaly attributes. When this happens, the wearer gains 16% combat attack, and when attacking an enemy affected by anomaly, they will also deal 25% more damage to that target. Not bad at all, right? The fourth pick goes to Rainforest Gourmet, one of W Engine's picks for free-to-play players who can offer 75 unconditionally anomaly proficiency and a stackable combat attack percentage buff. The buff stacks with every 10 energy spent, providing 4% combat attack per stacks up to 10 stacks, each of which lasts 10 seconds with the duration of each stack calculated separately. And last but not least is Weeping Gemini. This W engine is also a pretty solid choice for free-to-play players that can be used by all anomaly agents. It grants 25% unconditional standard attack percentage and offers flexibility with anomaly proficiency on a semi-permanent basis that stacks when anomaly is inflicted. It gains 46 anomaly proficiency per stack, up to 4 stacks, and remains active as long as the enemy with the anomaly is alive or not stunned. When an enemy is stunned or dies, all stacks accumulated with the affected anomaly are lost. Okay, next we will discuss about the best disk drive sets for Miyabi. As I have explained in some previous videos, the best choice falls on disk drives named Branch and Blade Song. This disk drive is designed for Miyabi and is her best choice. It can provide a huge critical damage bonus that can continue to be active at any time and a 12% critical rate increase that will continue to increase. Of course, this is very helpful for Miyabi. I recommend you to use 4 sets of these disk drives to optimize her entire kit. What about the 2 sets of disk drive sets? For the 2 sets of disk drives that can be used by Miyabi, you can use the following options. The first is Woodpecker Electro. This disk drive set can increase critical rate, which will greatly help Miyabi to reach 80% critical rate to be able to maximize her passive core. The second is Polar Mirror. These disk drives are also quite good because they can increase 10% ice damage unconditionally. Because Miyabi is included in the ice attribute, she will also get the effect of these disk drives. Not bad enough to be able to increase the damage she will produce a bit more. We've talked about disk drive sets. If we don't talk about the stats, the discussion won't be complete, right? Because Miyabi is an agent who has a DPS role that depends on the critical rate and the critical damage status, then on Disc 4, I would highly recommend using the main stat critical rate, while for Disc 5, you can use ice damage or attack, while for Disc 6, you can use attack. Then what about the substat? Well, the priority is the same as before. You are required to look for critical rate substats at least up to 80%, then critical damage or attack percentage, and then anomaly proficiency, attack or penetration. Finally, we come to the end of this video, which is a discussion about the synergy and team used by Miyabi. Actually, Miyabi can be paired with various combinations of agents that you have, but here are 5 agents that I would highly recommend. The first one is Yanagi. Why Yanagi? Because Yanagi has the same faction and serves as Barrier of Fallen Frost, which is very good for Miyabi. It is because every time Yanagi triggers Disorder, it will give Miyabi a Fallen Frost stack. Having Yanagi with Miyabi on the team does require significant playstyle and rotation adjustments, but the combo between Yanagi and Miyabi makes for some incredible damage output. As an added bonus, Yanagi is an excellent on-field option to perform a quick swipe after Miyabi performs Shimotsuki and is effective when Miyabi is waiting for her energy or Fallen Frost charges to fill up. The next options are Lighter or Lycan, 2 very solid and also very powerful options to pair with Miyabi. Both offer a fantastic amplification. Lighter of course has the edge in terms of potential damage output increase, but Lycan also offers that very good thing that it doesn't take long in the field. Both are very good, of course, but which one is better will depend on your teammates and playstyle. Then the last is the support role. The support role is very important for Miyabi because without this role, her additional abilities can be inactive. 2 very good support characters paired with Miyabi are Lucy and Soukaku. Both offer a much needed attack boost to Miyabi. However, just like Lighter and also Lycan, the choice of which one is best depends on the team composition you are using. If you use Lighter, then Lucy is very suitable support. Meanwhile, if you use Lycan, then Soukaku will be the best support for you. And next is the right team composition. Because the team composition for Miyabi is quite diverse, so you can choose some of example combinations that I have made for you. But remember, this is just a recommendation, but many things will affect it, such as a team composition, depending on the availability of units, your playstyle, and others. Okay guys, I think that's all for now. What do you think? Do you think Miyabi is a great unit? Please feel free to comment down below and don't forget to check out my another video, because they are just as good. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and see you in the next video.